Good morning. It's the 14th of November today. It's still early in the morning. We've got a very heavy dew out. I was down early on this morning. At the minute I'm starting early every day. Dog's out before anyone arrives. We're well underway with next year's stock, but I am still setting heads. Just going to show you a few here and what to do with them. I've just cut 5 beautiful heads. As we can see, they're all looking very nice. These are pot leeks. I've got all the blanch leeks, well, almost all the blanch leeks set. I'll just show you how I prepare and what I actually do. It's a beautiful head, but some of the grass on there is too big to set, so I'm going to chop it down to half. I'll just put it over the waste bin. I'll just trim this up. I know the camera's not moving, so you can't see what I'm doing, but I'll show you in a sec. Right, it's had a haircut. I've trimmed it down to half the size. To show you another one untrimmed. There we are. So one trimmed, one untrimmed. So I'll cut this one down as well. Put them up like that. We'll get the container ready. I've got a yellow bucket ready with probably 1.5 gallons of water in to take the 5 heads. Domestos, and I've got a 10mm spoon. Very thick Domestos, 10mm in there. Right, that's 10mm of Domestos into the water, and the heads will be placed. I'll lift this camera up just to show you. Once the heads are trimmed, they will be placed down into the, make sure it's mixed up well, and I'll put all 5 heads in there. I'll trim them up and drop them all in while you're here, so you can see what we're doing. These heads have been left, well, they've been inside over the last month, even though we've had nice weather. But they were left outside all last winter to try and hold the heads back a little bit. A lot of people struggle to hold heads to this time of year. But as I say, these ones have managed to come through very nice. They're all nice heads. Trim them all down. Just take a pair of scissors and trim them back a couple inches. You don't want them any bigger than that. They take too long to stand up. Still a bit fresh, these. They'll probably not want to leave the heads, but hopefully the Domestos will loosen them up. You don't always get good heads like this, mind. This is just what I have left. I've still got maybe about 4 or 5 heads to do after this. That's 5 heads in there. I'll just show you a couple of small ones. These are DN2 heads. As you can see, nowhere near as much on them. These are little sucker pods that come up the sides, but I haven't got any main heads. They got burnt off with the sunshine, if you remember. So they'll also go in when I'm ready to put those in. Right, the main reason I come down today, I hope you can see this, we are putting onions back to seed. Just to show you what I do. Most of the onions are still in good condition. This is an onion 30 inches around. It's about 12.5 pounds, 13 pound in weight. It's a nice onion. It's still very solid and the base is still lovely on it. But I am going to cut that one down. So I've already started cutting back. This one was one of Peter Glazebrook's seed, and it grew very well. It was a big onion. You can see we've taken an awful lot off it already. This was again about 13 pound in weight. But just to show you, you can see the bottom right is starting to set in. I'm going to take all this off. All I'm looking for is that centre corner, and I do this on all my onions. Right, that's the top cut completely off. I've split down the side skins, remove these. Hopefully I'll catch this one and it'll root up and come away. These will rot through the winter. I know a lot of people leave them on. Everybody's got their own method in doing it. I'm not saying anyone else's is wrong. Do what you find is right for yourself. But just to show you this one, we are skinning it down quite a bit there. That's a nice solid bulb now, really solid. But I think I'll take it a little bit further as well. Put the knife through it again. These are lovely skins that's coming off now. This can be done anytime throughout November, towards late November. You can even do it in September, but I like to get them away before the weather turns too bad. And to be honest, I am quite busy in the few weeks ahead. So, right, that's an onion strip right down. I'm going to set that up on compost. Hopefully the green centre will pop out. You will have casualties, you'll lose one or two. Incidentally, the compost I'm using, I've got the pots ready filled. They're all 3 litre pots. The compost that's gone in, I do riddle, well, all the leeks are set, and they're set in Clover multi-purpose compost, but it's still a little bit coarse, so I put it through a quarter riddle. The quarter riddle, all the fine stuff goes into my cell trays, which I'll show you in a moment. Well, as you can see on the bench behind me, all the coarse mix I put into a bag, and then I use it for mixing with John Innes number 2. That goes into these 3 litre pots, and that's what the onions are set up on. And there we have the first one, put back the seed. I'll still need to strip that down. I'll probably wait till January, strip that down. Hopefully the green centre will have popped through the new growth, and they'll come away very nicely. But they'll all be stripped down to around about that size. And as I say, there's plenty more. This one is it's a flat onion. That's one of Joe Atherton's onions. And these are some of the quality bulbs which I had myself. So there's some nice, beautiful round bulbs there. As you can see, they're in decent condition. And they're a fair size bulb. They're all still very solid, but I will cut those down as well. Right, I'm going to lift the phone off its holster. Turn it around. Right, we'll just have a quick look down. This bench is full of leeks, all in cells. They're all doing quite well. Some of every variety here, all the way down. We've got quite a few potted on this bench. A lot of these are brand new leeks. We'll start off at the top. This year all I'm going to be growing is brand new leeks. Here we have Peter Carey's number 1 hybrid, and I have a few on the far bench over there from Peter Carey. This is another hybrid from Peter Carey, but a friend of mine, Kevin Young, he grew this one, from Peter Kerry, got the seedling from Peter, and it made a very nice plant. They are splitting themselves back, as you can see there. Moving on here, this is a new one of mine. I think it's going to be a very good leek. You'll hear me mention King Charles. That is this particular leek. On the far bench I have some Prince William, brand new leek. These are all Prince William here. Gone very royal this year with losing our queen. So we've got King Charles, we've got Prince William. And on the far side, a Blanche leek, which I bred last year. I've called that Princess C. Princess Catherine, we hope. On here, another Peter Kerry hybrid. This is one that, again, the seedlings he sold 2 years ago. Dennis Nuttall grew this particular leek. It was crossed with the GSN in blue, and it took the parent of the GSN. It looks very good. It was a nice leek when he lifted it at the end of, in September. It was a beautiful leek. Just about 15-16 inches around, but beautiful quality. So hopefully this will come up. We've just put PKH on here, Peter Kerry hybrid. Some of Jimmy Dunnett's Cumbrian, looking very good. So things inside are looking good. I've got the top greenhouses set away now. We're starting to move things on there. As I say, we are on with onions. I've got more onions on the far side, right over there. There's quite a few onions to put down to seed, and this is the pots that are going into. Right, I'm going to put you on hold and I'll go down and quickly show you. The tunnels have been devastated with the winds, but I'm going to show you down there quickly. Just to show you those heads in there. They'll stay in there for at least 24 hours, possibly 36 hours before the grass starts to come off. Hopefully they'll be rooted up and they'll come away nicely. Right, we'll go down and take a look down the bottom. Right, these are the outside beds. One has been completely prepared, the first bed here. Second bed I haven't started on as yet. That's just as I get a spare half hour, I'll spend a half an hour of time on it. Moving inside. I've still got tomatoes hanging. Actually, the plants are dead, but the tomatoes are all ripened up lovely and they still taste beautiful. And there's still some nice fruit on there. Not a lot, but we are getting tomatoes off. Moving along, these are all stock plants for next year. All the way along, still got one or two heads, Betty Blackhead. Stock plants over there. We've still got some heads over there I haven't cut. I've still got heads here. These are the ones that are dried off. If you remember, most of them that dried off. Oh, I'll show you something. Most of them that dried off, they did throw a king pod sucker up, and I've still had heads from them. But some of them I actually cut off. They were completely dried and shriveled. They were just thrown into a saucer here to be thrown out. And as I've been watering other plants, the saucer's filled with water, and you can see, look at the plants growing off them. So for all the heads had dried, there was still like basil shoots on there which have come away, and they're growing, they're rooted up there, but I don't even know what variety they are now. They'll all just be thrown in the bin. But it just shows you nature is funny. It does try to recuperate itself. We still have a few smaller heads here. Still look nice and fresh. You can see some of these have dried, thrown side shoot heads up. That'll come away all right, just once trimmed up. There's still a few heads here. So I'll go through setting heads right through until about Christmas time. One of the issues and problems which we're seeing on the benches, on the shows, is leeks being started too early and pushed too hard and well overstripped. We're not seeing, you might think, oh, we're going to get bigger leeks. There's not many people pushing really big leeks down on the benches. They're showing leeks that are, they've got coarse because they've been over pushed. So I'm happy to have a few late set ones this year. Unfortunately, my tunnels have taken hammering with the wind. We can see here, big rips. Where they've ripped is where I have anti-hotspot tape on all of the metal framework, but the heat last year was intense. It was 138 in this particular polytunnel, Fahrenheit, and it's obviously weakened the polythene, and as we've had the first wind, they've split wherever there's a hoop. So I've got several splits all down the tunnel skins. They're all to be replaced this year. So a big job on. Caliente mustard, that's coming away well. Caliente mustard over here, and this is the mixed winter green fertilizer that we put in. This can be chopped up and dug back in any time now. And I did tip all the worm castings, well, all the worm bins onto the trenches. This is one that I haven't actually dug in yet. The far one, that it's got nothing on it. I actually went up into the woods. I took my grandchildren with me. We collected leaf mould. We dug a little bit of the soil up to get some of the microorganisms, and these have been spread along the trench and actually dug in. So this is another one. I'm trying something different on that one as well. If we remember this trench that caved over, it's all ready. I've got 6-inch blocks to be laid there. It's just when we get round to time. I have had enough of Harry Stillo to give me a hand. He's a bricklayer, he's a good bricklayer. He may come over at some point over the winter. I'll leave this skin on. This is the only one that hasn't been harmed. And then we've got a couple of beds there, all cleaned out, ready and covered. So we're ready to go. We're ready for the winter. Looking forward to Christmas. We'll just keep setting leeks. There's still beetroot inside there to be picked. It's just a nice size. We're not eating as many salads at this time of year. Great. That's, where are we? There. Right, that's about it for this morning, folks. It's just a quick one. Show you around, show you what we're doing. Onions back to seed. We've already got all the leeks back to seed. They're all growing well. And we're on setting heads, as we have been for the last month. And we will be for the month in future. Very good. See you soon. Have a nice Christmas if I don't speak to you beforehand. Thanks a lot now. Bye-bye.